everybody, welcome to Welkomstwoord. We are here for round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Europe, just on the perimeter of the Euro circuit, which is the rallycross venue, which is where we park our vehicles for the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're about 90 miles or so from Amsterdam, the country's capital. First time we came here was 1974. Sylvain Gabors was the winner that day, and he's still very much involved and probably knocking around here today, this weekend. But in MXGP, 6-time winner Antonio Cairoli showed us he's back to his former flamboyant self with a classic win 1 week ago at Trentino. So he has to start here as favourite this weekend. However, Tim Geiser is sure to be in a thorn in his side once again, but so too Gauthier Paulin, Romain Fevre, Clément Dessau and the rest will be doing their best to upset the form book here. So strap yourselves in as MXGP prepares to excite us once more. Mike Crass will be joining me during the broadcast of this MXGP first race a little later on. Of course, he's the 300cc champion from last year. He knows how to get around this 1,500-meter long circuit. But before we go anywhere else, though, let's take a quick look behind the scenes at Khmer Yamaha, the official MX2 Yamaha team.
Met de MXGP-machine. Waarom dan niet hier in Valkenswaard? Zit het tussen de oren? We gaan het zien. Ja, ik moet natuurlijk niet te veel vertellen, want dan kan ik gewoon meeluisteren. En dat is natuurlijk niet goed voor...
My season starts not like I want, but I try to do better now. I try to do the best and going on the front now. This year we have a full support factory of Yamaha, and we have engine factory and bike factory.
For sure it's a difference. Michele did a great job on the bike. We have also the electric starters since last week, so that's a plus point also. It's my 3rd year now in the team, and we have a really good relationship, all three. It's nice to train in a bigger group, so we can make some heats together and train at Jackie's home. So yeah, it's nice.
We have a trainer and we train together every day, and they are one step better than me, so I can try to learn and follow them. And yeah, it's really good to have like a race also in the week.
We do all three the same thing on and off the bike. We train every day together at Jackie's home or on the track. So physically, we should be on the same level, I think.
It was really difficult last year. Yamaha asked us to do this for Valentin Guillot, and we did it, but on the end it was too much for the chief mechanics, the mechanics, too much work. If we have problems, then it was a disaster in the weekends. So I'm happy now we can focus only on the MX2 class. Well, if you see, Benoit Poitrel was last year 3rd in the World Championship, so the goal was to fight for the title. And with Brent, I think last year he was a good first 4 Grand Prix, and then he crashed and he had an injury on his knee. So we think he can be in top 7. And with Alvin, we think top 10 should be good.
Now I'm 5 on championship, but yes, I try to make a really good race and take race per race, and we will see of the end of the season.
It was not so difficult for me to move here because they welcomed me good, so it was a good move.
Benoit's quality is he has a really smooth style, and he is not really aggressive. You don't see him making many mistakes. Brent is more aggressive, and he's a really good sand rider, but he still have to learn on the hardpack. Alvin has the same problem as Brent actually, because the 2 riders are born in Belgium or the other one in Sweden. It's more sand, so they have more problems on the hardpack, but I hope with a few years they can be good on that also.
Well, before we go any further, Lisa Leyland caught up with a couple of riders. One of them, Tim Geiser, the championship leader. But before that, Glenn Koldenoff, who's riding at home here this weekend on the Red Bull KTM. Let's hear what these guys have to say ahead of race 1.
Hello and welcome to the start of the first MXGP race of the day. It's all happening in that first MX2 race, but I want a quick chat with Glenn Koldenoff, who's the home rider here. Glenn, you're only 20 minutes from here, aren't you? So I guess as well as racing, it's going to be quite a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's a lot of support coming from me this weekend, but you know, I just go out there, have fun, and try to get a good result.
How did it go yesterday in qualifying?
Yeah, actually it went pretty good. My start wasn't that good. I was a little bit sleeping myself, so no, hopefully to do that better. The race was okay. Riding felt good, so I'm really looking forward now.
Okay, best of luck for the first race. Thanks for that, Glenn. Now I want to have a quick word with Tim Geiser. Yesterday it looked like he was struggling a little bit. I just want to see if everything was okay. Tim, just quickly tell us about qualifying yesterday. You didn't really seem yourself. Was everything okay with you and the bike?
Yes, I'm okay. Just didn't feel good yesterday on the bike. Didn't enjoy, and you know, today is another day, so I will try to grab good start and ride like I know, and enjoying a lot.
And have you made any changes to the bike or anything overnight?
Yeah, we changed some settings, some clicks, so hopefully it works now. So yeah, really looking forward.
Best of luck, Tim. Thank you. Okay, almost time for MXGP race 1.
As always, the riders then led out onto the track by the Fiat Professional fullback pickup. Beautiful machine that is as well, but Tony Cairoli, well, he led the riders out, followed by Jeremy Van Horbeke and the rest of the guys. Quick look at the championship standings, though, before we go any further. Tim Geiser, of course, is still the series leader, 18 points clear of Tony Cairoli. De Salle is third. Bobryshev is fourth, but just 6 points behind the Belgian, and Paulin tying points with Bobryshev. So it's very, very tight. Look at Van Horbeke, just 1 point behind as well in sixth. If you didn't join us yesterday for the qualifying highlights on MXGP TV, then sit back and strap yourselves in, because it was a pretty decent one, actually, in MXGP's qualifying race. Here's a quick look at our qualifying GoPro highlights from MXGP race yesterday.
Op een Suzuki, komt uit België, heeft natuurlijk ook heel veel meegemaakt. Ja, lange tijd blessure gehad, hoort toch altijd een van de absolute toppers.
Antonio Cairoli rocketed out of the start, pulled a whole shot. Paulin was right there behind him in second, but then over this next jump, watch from Bobryshev. And Tonus, the rear wheel of Paulin hit the side of Tonus. You see it more clearly from here, knocked him off the bike. Paulin did well to stay on as well. Tonus picked himself up, felt a little bit second-hand, but would eventually come through to finish in 16th as Cairoli just disappeared at the end of the first lap, leaving everybody else in his wake. De Salle was there in second. Geiser was in third, Bobryshev briefly in fourth, but then he got passed by Paulin on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Not immediately, though. Wasn't before he went and had a little off-track excursion. That allowed Van Horbeke to get through. And then Van Horbeke immediately went after Evgeny Bobryshev, who was being very, very stubborn, but Van Horbeke decided, okay, well, I'm going to run you wide, and I'll make the pass going into turn 1. So that was all of a sudden Van Horbeke up into fourth. Cairoli led the way. De Salle was second. Van Horbeke was third. Paulin then carved his way past the Russian, got himself into fourth, and just behind in the background was Arminas Jasikonis, who then lined himself up for a pass on the Russian as well. Things were looking good for the Suzuki World MXGP rider as he started to work his way towards the top 5. Geiser and De Salle were battling over seconds, but Van Horbeke was in no mood for playing games with the championship leader. Went around the outside of the HRC rider, got himself into third, went after Salle, got himself into second pretty quickly, as Paulin, who's been a double race winner here a couple of years ago, was feeling very at home, had a brave move around the outside of Geiser, could have gone either way, but in the end it favoured the Frenchman, who just muscled his way through. Geiser was asking a lot of questions of himself. 2 corners around the track, and Van Horbeke was into second with a pass on De Salle. Bobryshev spun up, and that allowed Jeffrey Hurlings to go through into 7th place. Hadn't seen too much of the bullet at that point in the race. Jasikonis then found his way past Geiser to move into 5th position just after the halfway mark. Jeffrey Hurling started to come awake as the race drew into the second half, so whether that's fitness or just confidence in the sand, either way we'll find out from our resident expert Mike Crass in just a moment or so. But Hurling's definitely took a while getting going around his home venue. Eventually though he found his way into 4th with 2 laps to go with that pass on Clement de Sal. The Red Bull KTM would have been buoyed by that, but it was Kai Rowley who took the checkered flag ahead of Van Horbik, Paulan, Hurlings and de Sal. It was quite a eventful qualifying race, I think we'll have to say, but I'm going to bring in Mike Crass now, the GL12 KTM rider, normally going to be concentrating on the EMX 300 series, but you rode here in the 250 European round this weekend, Mike, on a 250. How was it riding against the 4-strokes this weekend?
It was a first for me against the noise from the 4-stroke. It's always strange riding a 2-stroke, but it was fun, had a pole position and a good time, but first race didn't bring what I thought it would be because I put too much pressure on myself. But the second race was better. I was in the top 5 and battling with those guys, and had a lot of fun this weekend. My home crowd always good. So yeah, it was a weekend that I learned a lot for myself, and I'm looking forward to the EMX 300 Championship.
Well, Tony Cairoli goes to the line on pole for the second time this season, ahead of Jeremy Van Horebeke, Gauthier Paulan, Jeffrey Hurlings, Clement de Sal, Tim Geiser, Sean Simpson, Arminas Jasikonis, Bobryshev and Glenn Koldenoff, and the rest. You saw them all there on screen just a moment ago. But Mike Crass, obviously coming into this home round here, we've seen Jeffrey Hurlings dominate absolutely everything in MX2 since 2010. 7 wins in a row here in MX2. And a lot of people asking the question, can he do it again this weekend in MXGP? For sure, this guy's not going to make it easy for him, is he? Because he looks like he's back to form. But what are your feelings on how this MXGP race can go? Is Hurlings capable of getting on a podium here this weekend, or is he really struggling like his results are showing?
I think it depends on the start, because I do believe in Hurlings that he can win. But he just need a good start, because if you come from 10 to 11, then you need to pass so many riders, and the track is difficult to pass because it's one line, it's one big berm in the middle of the corner. So I think if he's top 5 at the start, then yeah, he can beat all of them.
But we've seen him struggle a little bit, haven't we, this year? He's not been making the starts. I spoke to him in Argentina earlier this year as we look at Gauthier Paulan, who's riding pretty good at the moment, it has to be said. And he was saying he underestimated MXGP, the challenge, the riders, the depth in competition. He's used to overtaking guys, you know, when he's made a bad start, when he's fell at the first turn, and passing them and just leaving them behind. He's getting attacks straight away from these guys. He's passing probably Nagel in 12th or 13th or 14th, or Paulan or de Sal or somebody, so that he gets passed right back, you know, and he's not used to that, is he? So there's a massive psychological battle going on with him as well, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think if he didn't do so well in the MX Destinations, yeah, he could have gone the winter preparing, training, but he did so well in Majora that maybe, yeah, he think a little bit too easy for the class. But yeah, also the fans didn't expect him to struggle this much, but I do believe that he will overcome this, and I think by the end of the season he will be yeah, going for the win every round.
Have you had time or much time to talk to him? Do you speak to him occasionally or not, Jeffrey Hurlings?
Yeah, I did speak to him, and also spoke yesterday with Koldenoff, and I think both riders are looking forward to the race today, because especially Jeffrey, he gets the crowd behind him, and winning here last 6, 7 years.
7 in a row.
I think he do believe in himself, and yeah, I hope he get a good start so we can see what he can do.
See what this guy can do. Obviously, he picked himself up after that horrendous crash at the start of the race yesterday, where it looked like the rear wheel or the swinging arm connected with the shoulder or the side of the helmet of Tonos midair and knocked him off the bike before he landed. He was very lucky to pick himself up, but obviously, and rejoin the race. He went to the line 16th, but he was on the podium a week ago. Got his first podium for Wilvo Yamaha MXGP squad. Arnold Tonos, who's 8th in the championship. He was 4th the week before in Mexico, the Grand Prix before in Mexico in Leon, so he's obviously been improving in that respect. But we're almost ready to go here. The 5-second board has turned. MXGP Race 1 is ready to go here. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And it's Gauthier Paulan with his second foxhole shot of 2017. And we've got the two HRC boys in there. Is it Bobby or is it Geiser? I think it might be Geiser there in second position. It is. Bobryshev was there, but Febvre with a great start for Monster Energy Yamaha. So the Frenchman goes to third. Bobrishev's going to out-drag him at the top of the hill, is he? No way. The Yamaha right there in that third place. So Bobryshev in fourth. Then it's the Yamaha. So Cairoli, not the guy in the start that he had yesterday. Here he is, dropping down the hill just below us, going around the outside of Strybos, I believe that was. So he's got a lot of work to do. Paulin leads the way though. Geiser second. Febvre is in third place. Bobryshev fourth. Van Horbig is in fifth. So both the Monster Energy Yamahas are right there. Then it's DeSalle. Then Hurlings, I think, or maybe Koldenhoff. I think Hurlings actually, as he hits the jump just ahead here, and then just behind it's Koldenhoff. So the fans on their feet for Jeffrey Hurlings to pull the hammer here and get going. But not a great start, but not a bad start for Jeffrey Hurlings, Mike Crash.
Especially when Cairoli comes from the back and he's gonna catch up to Hurlings. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Very interesting, because we saw how he carved his way through the field a week ago, didn't we, Tony Cairoli, on a track that nobody could pass on, that was one line. Cairoli obviously found the way to do that, but Cairoli, as he went through the first split, was 23rd. He's already showing up to 14th now. So having another one of those moments that he had in MXGP Race 2 a week ago. Paulin, 1.2 seconds clear. There's Koldenhoff going through. Where's Cairoli? There's Nagel. There's Cairoli. Cairoli over the line in 14th place, just behind Tanel Leop. So it's Paulin, Geiser, Bobryshev, Febvre. There is Febvre. Then Van Horbig. DeSalle, Hurlings 7. Where is Jeffrey Hurlings? We hear the announcers getting very, very excited over Jeffrey Hurlings or something. There he is. We've got a rider down at the end of the straights. Can't see who that was, but Cairoli is a long way down at the moment. In comparison to the... there he is. There he is. Has he been down again, Cairoli? Oh, yeah, he got caught out there, didn't he? Just maybe running to the back of a fallen rider, Tonus, the number 4. So Tonus down from 12th. Not going the way of Cairoli, but he's still got 27.5 minutes plus 2 to go. We know he likes to ride the sand. We know he rides it well. He's won here 6 times in the past, Tony Cairoli. So, Mike Press, we will expect big things from Cairoli in this first race, wouldn't we?
Yes, we also expect now from Hurlings to go to the front. But also Paulin won here 2 times.
Just looking to see who that bike was on the side of the track there. There's obviously a bike lane there, but Febvre losing out to his teammate here, possibly. The two Yamahas side by side. Febvre keeping it nice and low, but will he let his teammate through? I don't think he has a choice at the moment. And Febvre not riding full of confidence at the moment, which is very strange, you know. He's struggling to find the answers or the key to unlock the box that will get him those big points. Maybe a good performance here in this first race might see him gain a little bit of confidence, Mike.
Yeah, I think if you're a little bit off of yourself, there's so many good riders, then it's like 5-6 places if you're just 1 second, 1.5 seconds. So difficult.
Well, over the line, 1 official lap complete. Then the 2 Hondas are still there. Geiser and Bobryshev for Team HRC, trying to close down the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Gauthier Paulin. There is Van Horbig and Febvre and Jacek Konis. A great ride for him in the early stage of this race for Suzuki World MXGP. Hurlings not making any inroads at the moment, although he has set the first sector, the fastest sector 1 of the race so far, Jeffrey Hurlings. So what can he do here? There he was, just in the background over the jump. Here's Cairoli, still stuck behind Tanel Leop, again in 14th position after getting caught out a lap ago. But look how choppy it is through there now, Mike. Obviously suspension is going to play key, isn't it? Would you say horsepower or suspension is the important thing here?
I think suspension, because TV doesn't do any justice to the track. The braking bumps are so big, and TV look way more flat than it is, but in real life the bumps are so big, especially with the speed you have carrying into them.
Cairoli making a move on left at the top of the hill. The Estonian reacts immediately, but can't get the power down on his Husqvarna. Cairoli nicks a position away from him then. So Cairoli now, the 222 in the yellow helmet, the middle rider in shot, behind big Ken Didika. He's a former Grand Prix winner here before, of course, when he was Suzuki mounted in the past, riding for Suzuki Valenti JTEC. And he's let Cairoli through, those 2 good buddies, and he's only, you know, just got himself back into the World Championship, hasn't he, the number 9 Ken Didika. Knows that Cairoli eventually is going to go through, just made that passage a little bit smoother for the Sicilian as he goes after Geiser. Geiser's second in the race at the moment. Here he is. That lead red bike.
Guy's
Fine
riding,
Paul-Land, yeah.
riding a lot better than yesterday, huh?
Definitely, but he's definitely got the impetus on his side, has Geisch at the moment. He's got Paul-Land ahead of him. He knows. Here's the thing, you cannot race hard around this track, can you? You've got to respect it, because this year, maybe more than ever, we've got hard square edge bumps and not the rolling bumps anymore, are they? So you try to ride too hard and aggressive around this track, it will bite you.
Yes, you can kill yourself in 2 laps, so then the race is going to be very long.
So the first 3 pulling clear of Van Horbeke. There's Febvre flashing by now. There's Herlings. He's found his way into 6th past Arminas Jasikonis. Maybe we can follow Jeffrey Herlings just for a little bit here in the background. Look at his line choice, and a mistake there from Febvre as he hit those holes. But Jeffrey Herlings, would you say he's looking good, looking relaxed at the moment, Mike Kress?
Yes, I think he's building his race, and towards the end of the race, I think he's going to fire the bullet.
Well, he's definitely not wasted any time in closing in on the 461 of Romain Febvre, who's having issues of his own at the moment. But he's taken himself a couple of laps to get himself dialed here. And I guess a lot of people sort of saying if Herlings doesn't win here this weekend, then he can pretty much kiss goodbye to the championship, even though Jeffrey has said the championship is done. Before Trentino, it was 97 points. It's way more than that now. It's more than 100. So in his eyes, the championship is already done, but he needs to start winning races, and winning races soon, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he needs to find the thing that's wrong, because you can't go from 15th place to the 1st place in 1 week. So I think it needs time, and this week will be better. So it's improving every week.
Well, he's looking okay at the moment, but we've not ever seen him struggle in the sand before, have we? And you know, in the past he was always the fastest rider in the world in the sand, not just in MX2 but anywhere, because we've seen him lapping faster times on his MX2 bike. Do you think he'd be better riding a 350 riding this year, when we look back now at how the season has started?
Yes, that's what he also said. He's testing now, and he didn't test last year. And the more that the season grows, the more he will test, and the more things he will learn.
So it'll be interesting to see then how that shapes up, because obviously 2 weeks' time we are going to go to Latvia, another sand race. But here is Jeffrey Herlings in 6th place for Red Bull KTM at the moment on the distinctive number 84. No red plate firmly fixed to the front of that, though, and probably won't be this year. But anyway, he's giving chase to the number 461, Romain Febvre, who's having a great start. First good start we've seen him have for a while. Febvre, 8th and 17th a couple of weeks ago, a week ago in Trentino. And he wasn't much better the week before, 11th and 7th. 4th and 8th in Argentina was about as good as it's been for him, with 5th overall, Romain Febvre. But Herlings around the outside, using that 450 power. Looks to carve his way down the inside, and finds his way past, does he? Not quite, but he's going to be aggressive at the bottom of the hill, but gets forced wide by Romain Febvre. Both riders then putting everything on the table there. Neither one wanted to give an inch. What did you reckon of that, Mike Kress? Just firm and fair riding from both riders.
Yes, I don't think they want to take each other out first 10 minutes of the race. So
it was interesting as well with, you know, I've sat with Jeffrey a number of times. Oh, Febvre, does he stall the engine? He's got electric start on that. He loses positions, and well, that'll be frustrating for him, trying to get it fired up. Well, that was a gift in the end for the number 84 of Jeffrey Herlings as he gets himself into 5th place. Romain Febvre, he'll be disappointed with that. The back end just came around on him, and I'm not sure if he's still there or not, but he is going to be kicking himself. Yeah, there he is at the top of the shot. So anyway, Paul-Land continues to lead. Geiser second. Here's a replay. No. So Bobrishev, Van Horbeke, and Herlings now 5th. That was Romain Febvre just losing 5th place a moment ago to Jeffrey Herlings. He rejoins in 9th position, so just couldn't get that thing fired up on the electric start. The factory Yamaha is running electric starts. I think the Hondas are as well, aren't they, this year as well? Geiser's and Bobrishev's bikes. But Paul-Land looking very, very good at the front. But Geiser just trying to wear him down as he goes in pursuit of 25 points. Here's Kai Rowley against his former teammate, the number 12, Max Nagel. Only in 11th place at the moment for the 222. Tony Kai Rowley had such a good ride yesterday that many thought it was a foregone conclusion that he would just take two hole shots here and disappear. But circuit conditions very rough. He's having to spend a lot of energy coming through the field as well, isn't he, Mike Kress? Because, you know, 22nd, 23rd place or something like that all of a sudden, you know, it's very, very difficult. Right, Hurlings. And we had a mistake from Geiser, we must have done, because Hurlings is right there. Oh, he's been off. Look at the peak. He's been and headbutted the ground as Geiser, because he's riding bullet style, and he's got the bullet behind him. So Geiser then finding it difficult here. MXGP race 1. Well, he's had 2 rookie world champions in his sights. Jeffrey Hurlings, the first one was Roman Fevre, who made a mistake and let him by. And now he's going past Tim Geiser, who was a rookie world champ last year. And Hurlings, well, this will be doing his confidence a world of good. He might know that Geiser fell in front of him, but he'll also know that he's still got a big task ahead. In fact, any of these guys up front, the one we least expect to make the mistake is going to be Jeffrey Hurlings, who is around about 9 or 10 seconds down on Paulhan. Oh, here's Geiser's crash. Oh, the back end of it. There's the peak. That's at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, Hurlings locked up. And there you go. So Hurlings over the line then in 4th. He's 5 seconds down on Van Hoorbeek, who's about 2/10 slower than the Belgian. There he is, just disappearing out of sight. Right, with a clear track, Mike Crass, you would expect Jeffrey Hurlings to close down that gap, wouldn't we, to Van Hoorbeek? But it's quite a long way when we see from that overhead shot.
Yeah, I think he's gonna close the gap, because now he has a full space. He can look ahead, he can see the bumps. If you have a rider in front of you, always eating the roost, and you can't see the bumps, so it's gonna take time. But now he has a free track, so I think he's gonna close the gap.
Fevre and Nagel battling here. Fevre getting past Nagel passing him right back, and these two absolutely banging bars. Cairoli's found his way past both these guys as he gets himself up into 9th position. Good race for this for Roman Fevre, though. He needs this kind of race to build his confidence back up. He has been searching for answers lately. Doesn't really know what to do next, but give him a good result here. Get him a race probably without a mistake, but without crashing, more importantly, from his side. But Paulhan, 2.5 seconds clear of Bobashev after Geiser went missing. Van Hoorbeek 3rd, Hurlings 4th. Geiser is 5th. Fastest lap of the race so far was Tim Geiser, 1:50.701 on lap 4. So a lap ago before falling. And now he's going after Jeffrey Hurlings. We've got Jasikonis bearing down on that Suzuki World MXGP machine. There's DeSalle on the Monster Energy Kawasaki, then Koldenhoff, the second of the, well, the third of the Red Bull KTM riders, but there he is, teammate to Cairoli. He's got Cairoli starting to close in on him now. Cairoli's starting to run out of time. 17 minutes plus 2 laps to go. That will go really quick from Cairoli's point of view, won't it? Because he's still battling and he wants more points.
But Cairoli is always strong in the end, so I don't think he's going to worry that much. Last 5 minutes are for Cairoli,
Super cool, though, for Gauthier Paulhan. Rockstar Energy Husqvarna now 2.2 seconds clear of Bobashev. There he is. So here's Hurlings coming towards us out of shot, and there's Geiser. And Geiser keeping one eye on what's going on in terms of Cairoli, because Geiser, 16 points for him, and 12 for Tony Cairoli. So that gap will go out to, what, 22 points? Yeah. It was 18 before we started here. Difference is, it looks like Geiser, with Jasikonis bearing down in that, he's probably got more chance of losing a position than gaining one, with Jeffrey Hurlings ahead of him. And doesn't look comfortable here, does he? And Jasikonis runs Geiser wide, cleans him up. Well, just as we said, he's in danger of losing a position rather than gaining one. Down the hill charges Alminas Jasikonis and just railroads him out of the way, Mike Kraft.
I also think that is the way, because as you can see, there's one big berm in the middle of the corner, so there's not so many places you can pass already easy. So we have to muscle your way through or plan it really good.
Having to regroup and breathe again. Watch this. Goes in too deep anyway. It looked worse from the other angle. It's just that the two lines went into one. So a fair move in the end from Jasikonis. Jasikonis now up into 5th place for the Stefan Everts run and own Suzuki World MXGP squad. Geiser down to 6th. There's Cairoli. He is still in 9th place. It'll be music to his ears when he gets around the corner here and sees a flash of red. He'll be wondering, is it Bobby, is it Geiser? Always looks up, doesn't he, Cairoli, when he comes over stuff like that and sees where the next passing opportunity is. Well, the first one at the moment is his teammate, Glenn Koldenhoff, on the Red Bull KTM. So DeSalle, Koldenhoff and Cairoli, 7, 8, 9. Cairoli needs to be careful here not to make any more mistakes. Geiser also needs to be careful not to make any mistakes. Both the Red Bull KTM mechanics hanging over the wall for both their riders as they go through. Paulan now 2 seconds clear of Bobryshev, Van Horbik third. But Arminas Jasikonis sets a personal best lap of the race, a 50.9. It was a 52.1, a 52.0, 52.3, 52.0. So Jasikonis 2 or 3 seconds quicker than the guys ahead of him in that 5th place. So he's going to be closing in pretty rapidly on people like Jeffrey Hurlings and Jeremy Van Horbik. Well, that'll be interesting when he gets himself onto the rear wheel of Jeffrey Hurlings, Mike Kress.
And he's a big guy, yeah? So a big guy have more length. They can carry more speed over the big bumps.
Yeah, people forget that, don't they? You know, the smaller you are when you're riding in the sand and the bigger the bumps, the more difficult it is to ride. You can work around it with pure strength, but when you have that range, like someone like Ken Dijker, who his riding style is very similar to, then obviously you can make that very, very effective. Cairoli having to use all of the racetrack. Look at the top of the screen in a moment. We've got Hurlings up in that top corner, and Jasikonis is right behind him. I saw them as we went to a different shot a minute ago, as they were charging down this straight, but Koldenhoff making it difficult for his teammate. And he's entitled to do that because he's in his own championship race as well. It's only round 6 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. But Cairoli having to put in another one of those fights for points, just like he did a week ago in race 2 in Trentino. Simpson up to 12th now for the Wilvo Yamaha group team. He's now 12th. He's just found his way past Tano Leo on the Ottaviano Husqvarna. Cairoli at the moment having to regroup again.
Koldenhoff taking a look back, see who's behind him, and he saw Cairoli. So I'm curious if he's going to let him pass or if he's going to give a hard fight.
Well, I don't think there are any team orders at this stage of the championship, and actually, for the most part, we don't have team orders, do we? In the World Championship, normally everything goes down to the wire, or it's fair in that respect. People just get on with their own things. But there is Jeffrey Hurling, and where is Jasikonis? He was about 2 seconds behind him a moment ago, but I think Jeffrey Hurlings has responded. He's 3/10 quicker than the Lithuanian, and there is Van Horbik ahead of him at the top of the hill. Nothing else will do than a win for Jeffrey Hurlings around here and for the Dutch fans. Would you agree, Mike?
Yes, I agree. But he's also riding a little bit better. As he's riding smooth and not stressing, not making many mistakes, making nice corners.
Yeah, great atmosphere out on the track at the moment. Every inch of the way, Hurlings being cheered on, and you see he's already broken free from the Suzuki there, the 27 of Jasikonis. He's got the 89 of Van Horbik just ahead of him, and there's Paulan and Bobryshev as well. So he's on the same stretch of racetrack now as the leader and the second and third place riders. All of a sudden, with 12 minutes plus 2 to go, Jeffrey Hurlings possibly looking good for his first race win of the year, and that'll be a big win as well if he can do it. But Paulan's not going to make it easy. Van Horbik won't, and nor too will Bobryshev. So he still has a lot of work to do before he can even think about winning this race.
Yes, but he gets the fans behind him now. You can hear him scream for them.
He's not been riding good at home either, has he, in the National Championship? You know, we see Dutch Championship, the first round in, I think it was Os. He didn't, I think it was a 7th and a win, but it was only just a win from Max Nagel. Then even at Hafsen a week ago, he wasn't brilliant there either, was he?
No, it's not what he used to, but like he said, he needs some time to build confidence, and especially when it goes like this, it gives him confidence, and I think he's building the race pretty good now. So I'm really looking forward to the end, because I think he's going to take Van Horbik.
Cairoli shaking his head profusely there. He is not a happy Italian underneath that aero helmet of his. He's taken 3 laps to find his way past his teammate. So is that frustration at how he's riding, or frustration that his teammate is there making it difficult for him because he got onto the rear wheel of his fellow teammate there, and then he's hit a wall, and now he's having to dig really, really deep, and that's not always easy to do when you're in the middle of the race.
No, I don't think it's Koldenhoff giving him a hard time. I think he's having a hard time by himself, finding lines, giving too much energy to go to the front.
Look at this battle here. Paulan, Bobryshev, Van Horbik, Hurlings and Jasikonis. We might have ourselves a 5-way battle for the lead here in a moment.
And I do believe Hurlings is going to win it.
You do already,
yes.
even 10 minutes out. He's getting quicker, isn't he? Hurling's a 150.6. He was the fastest inside the top 10 riders that time around, because a 52.6 for Paulhan, 52.7 Bobryshev, 51.4 Van Horebeke, 50.6 Jeffrey Hurlings. Mike Kress may have just called it right here. Back markers now starting to become a problem. Paulhan the first to hit them, and he's got to be very, very careful. He's led every single lap of this race. He took the foxhole shot right at the start of the race. He knows what it's like to win around here, but these are the kind of problems that the leaders are now being faced with. He deals with the back marker there very, very quickly. But the number 73 there of Peter Eert, making it difficult for Bobryshev. Yeah, now they know the leaders are coming through. Blue flag should be waved. There's one there just on the exit of turn 2. Van Horebeke and Hurlings right there. Now, Hurlings has never been so far up front this year. He was running, what, third a week ago in Trentino, eventually came home in fourth in that second race, but to be there now with a sniff of the win, with 9 minutes to go, Mike Kress, this will turn him on, won't it?
When we pass the start area, I want to show you something, because I rode this morning and there was something that only you can see when you ride the track, and when you watch on TV, it's a completely different track, because the flat the start track,
yeah.
So you go as fast as the bike will go, and then halfway they stop flattening and you go into the braking bumps, and you go in with so much speed, it's so hard.
Yeah. When you go through the chicane and then hit the first jump, it's very, very choppy on the run to there. I was talking to somebody about that. I think in our day they used to flatten all the way up to that and then leave it the other side.
I thought they were going to do that, but they didn't do it. So you go as fast as the bike can, and then into the braking bumps were like this high. It's very difficult.
Very difficult. But Hurlings is getting closer. He's got the Honda HRC machine of Bobryshev and the Yamaha of Van Horebeke. Wow, that was very brave from Jeremy Van Horebeke. And the two riders tripping themselves up. Van Horebeke might find a way through at the end of the straight here. He'll try again, but Hurlings getting closer and closer with every corner. He's running out of time though, Mike. Whereas Paulhan, there he is, he's broken free. All of a sudden, you know, we've got three guys fighting over second position here. Paulhan could do with the race win as well, couldn't he, on that Husqvarna? Van Horebeke looking to make a move down the inside. Oh, he makes the pass. What aggressive move there from Van Horebeke. Bobryshev didn't have an answer. And look at Hurlings and Jasikonis. Jasikonis closing in. So we're having an epic MXGP race here, and it involves Jeffrey Hurlings for the first time in 2017. Paulhan doing his own thing at the head of the field.
He needs to go with Van Horebeke. That doesn't get stuck behind Bobryshev.
Yeah, and he's now turning up a pace, isn't he? I think Van Horebeke could win this one, you know, even with 7 minutes to go. Now that he's got free of Bobryshev, because Jeffrey Hurlings needs to find his way past the Russian very, very quickly. Otherwise, he's going to lose the Yamaha and the Husqvarna ahead of him. Oh, back end got out of shape there at the bottom of the hill.
He's going for it.
Now or never for Jeffrey Hurlings. Looking to use all of the racetrack and a little bit more as he goes after Bobby. Wow, which one is this one going to go?
This is what takes your energy. Eh? When you have a free track, you can ride the lines, you can jump, and this is take your energy. You need to pass the rider who's in front of you.
Well, he's having to go wide, keep that momentum going. He went a little bit deep in that corner there. It just took a while for the power to kick in at the rear wheel of that Red Bull KTM. Hit a hole there. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but he does that very nice. Wheelers the holes at the end of the straight. That's where he gains a lot of his momentum, but he is in a class field here, Jeffrey Hurlings, in 2017. He's realised that right from the very first round. But this is his playground. He does not want to get beaten here. 7 in a row since 2010 in MX2. We are 6 minutes to go. Paulhan is already over the line with, what, 2 second advantage over Van Horebeke. Bobryshev, Hurlings, Jasikonis are your top 5. Hurlings heads down the start straight, urged on by his mechanic Wayne Banks as he goes after Bobryshev here. Team HRC Sun is coming out. Is it going to shine on Jeffrey Hurlings today? Meanwhile, Van Horebeke is getting closer. That's not 2.1 seconds between him and Paulin now as they come through those two rollers heading down towards turn 6. And Hurlings looking to make a move on Bobashev. Will he get through at the end of straight? Oh, great riding, great move, great line there from Jeffrey Hurlings. Perfect execution and textbook stuff from the Dutchman, Mike Kras.
Yes, and now you need to keep going. Catch Van Horebeke. We still have 5-6 laps.
Yeah, see the difference there between Hurlings. As he came down the hill, he picked the front wheel up, got over those holes. Bobashev was in the holes on the front end. That's the perfect illustration as to how well Jeffrey Hurlings rides the sand. But, Lord, what do we... there's Cairoli. Cairoli has hit the wall. Well, that's a big surprise. He is in 9th place and he's being challenged now by Max Nagel. Well, anybody said that this MXGP season was going to be a foregone conclusion and a walk-away or runaway victory campaign for Tim Geiser, well, they were very, very much misinformed, because Cairoli now, who is going to be one of the riders to look out for in terms of that championship, has now started to hit the wall in this first race behind his teammate. He's 3 seconds behind him. Geiser, more importantly, is 6th, Cairoli 9th in that championship chase.
What a race for Jesse Konis, eh?
Yeah, great ride for Jesse Konis. 4 minutes to go. Hurlings being urged on. There's your first 3. Paulin on the Monster Energy finish line jump now. And then coming into land over the step-up is Hurlings, split by the Yamaha of Jeremy Van Horebeke. The atmosphere absolutely electric. Going high and wide, got to be careful not to fold the front in that part of the turn. But he does read the track very well in these sandy conditions. But so too does Jeremy Van Horebeke. Oh, the front end just getting away from him. 3 seconds between the top 3 guys, Paulin, Van Horebeke and Hurlings. And once again, Paulin coming up against traffic in the form of a Honda rider there, is it? Difficult to see who that was as he goes through there, but there's Hurlings. There's Bobashev. Bobashev not giving up the fight yet. Oh, Paulin having to go down the inside and sit down. So too did Van Horebeke. I think Hurlings may have just managed to stay up on the pegs there and get through there. Just picking up the front end there, look, just by those FMF manners.
There's one more thing I noticed. Hurlings is riding with a white tank today. Yesterday he rode with the standard black tank. So do you think gas is going to be an issue?
Sorry, who's this?
About Hurlings. He's riding with the white tank. The white tank means more gas. Okay. I think 1.5 litre more than yesterday.
I don't think... I wouldn't have thought that the standard issue, the standard tanks would be that different, because obviously we're not running 45-minute motos like we used to run, you know, and these guys have never had to do that. So, I mean, the team would know, obviously. Maybe he rides the bike a little bit harder than most, and in that respect, I don't know. Maybe he's still riding it like a 250, so, you know, revving, but that was nice there.
Typical sand driver, eh?
Yeah, typical. But he hasn't closed in on Van Horebeke like we thought. In fact, it's the Belgian Van Horebeke who's now knocking on the door for a potential first race win of the season. Jeremy Van Horebeke. Nothing in it. It was 2 seconds almost as they hit the line last time around. It's going to be less than a second this time around. 9/10 of a second. A 53.6 and a 52.5. They're 2.8 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. So all of a sudden, Van Horebeke is the rider who is on the charge here. He's got Paulin, the Frenchman, just ahead of him. How much more of this can he withstand? Didn't see what the time was as they went through. Well, it's going to be 3 laps anyway, isn't it? Because 4 laps to go, because we've got 1:32 on the clock. It's only a 1:53 lap time. I think it's going to be very tight, but I think this is going to be 4 laps to go from this point. 3 laps next time around. Van Horebeke putting everything into this one. Where's his teammate, Roman Febvre? He's 11th after making that mistake. Jeffrey de Wolf, actually, the 212 riding this weekend on a KTM. He's in the points, but it's Paulin, Van Horebeke leading the way. Hurlings there in 3rd. Bobashev 4th. Jesse Konis 5th. Geiser 6th. DeSalle, Koldenhoff, Cairoli and Nagel, your top 10. Febvre, Simpson, Leon, Martins. Jens Martins on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna as a wild card this weekend in 14th place. Arno Tonas picking himself up off the deck on the opening lap. He is in 15th. Then we've got Jeffrey de Wolf, Ken Diker, Gert Kresenoff, Harry Kulas and Rui Gonçalves. Kevin Strybos hasn't been around for a few laps, so not sure what his problems were, but obviously he's out early. Van Horebeke gets close to the 21. and then just runs out of ideas, makes a mistake or two. That improvisation there from Jeffrey Hurlings, hopping to the inside and over the hole rather than just dipping the front wheel down the other side. Is that going to be the kind of technique? Yeah, 3 laps to go from this point. There's Hurlings. Thomas Covington beat him in the sand a year ago at Assen. Well, less than a year ago. It was September, wasn't it, in the first race?
Those holes before the corner, they're not machine-made. They're just bigger and bigger over the weekend as the races went on.
Hurlings 3.7 behind Paulin, 53.3, 53.1. So a little bit, he's the slowest of that trio, but he's got Van Horbik right there. This might be a good 3 laps for Jeffrey Hurlings all of a sudden. He knows he's running out of time. He can see the Yamaha of Van Horbik here agonizingly close, and the leader, Gauthier Paulin, at the top of the hill as they just come around the corner here. And Hurlings is close. That is not 3.7 seconds. He knows it as well. He has got right back into contention here. Just over 2 laps to go, and Hurlings could still win this one, Mike Crass. He will raise the roof if he does.
He doesn't need to get stuck behind Jeremy. He needs to pass him right away when he gets a chance. Don't wait.
Back markers are going to play an important role in this, aren't they? Blue flags are going to play an even bigger role in this. Back marker there. He's already seen Paulin go through. Don't get in the way of Jeffrey Hurlings, please. Van Horbik jumps long. Paulin getting away again. Jeffrey Hurlings looking for new lines, looking to be creative. Anything to get himself that little bit closer. Again, picking up the front wheel. Would you say the line there of Van Horbik was slightly quicker into that turn? Just sweeping in from the outside.
I think he's just avoiding the big braking bumps.
That was nice that time into that turret right. He's close again this time around. 2-lap board getting ready. Hurlings homing in on Van Horbik. He is close to a potential race win. So too is Paulin, and so too is Jeremy Van Horbik. No favoritism here, folks. These 3 are going to be slunging it out for the final 2 laps of MXGP Race 1. Hurlings trying to be creative there, but didn't quite work out for him. Wow. All 3 are locked together, 2.5 seconds apart, which doesn't sound a lot, and it's not a lot, especially when Hurlings can see Paulin on the face of the jump there. Still think Hurlings is going to win it, Mike Crash?
Paulin is riding really good, so...
This was the mistake.
One mistake is 2 seconds, so if one of the riders makes a mistake, it's really close.
Paulin's heart is beating overtime. Van Horbik, well, he knows he's got Hurlings. Oh, nice there from Van Horbik at the top of the hill, just jumping over and landing on the downside of some of those holes. Going wide again, looking to keep that momentum going on that KTM. Jeffrey Hurlings. Nicely done at the top of the hill, but still no way through for the Bullet. This is the strongest performance we've seen from him all year, no doubt about it. Is it going to be enough, though? People saying, yeah, we expect Hurlings to be on the podium this weekend. He's getting longer and longer over that jump. Fans getting more and more vocal.
Voorbeeld made a mistake in the corner, went too deep, lost speed.
And drive. And Hurlings, has to go wide. Improvises well there, though, and soaks it up. A treat.
He just wants to show he's there.
Skills. Oh, great move. Charges down the inside, runs off the track. Jeffrey Hurlings, well, you can't say he's not trying. What a race this is turning out to be. Well, at best, he's going to be second here because Paulin now, he's already too far gone. He's going to be about 3 seconds clear of Hurlings. Hurlings now, will he have one more attempt to get himself into second? Landed heavily there in the background, just on the run-up. Those some big square edge bumps there, aren't they?
I have not seen Paulin say one mistake.
No.
He's got a great race.
Yeah, he is just being the coolest man on track, hasn't he? There he is, look, absolutely clean, hasn't been roosted, not even from the back markers. All of a sudden, is that Bobashev right there? It is. So Jeffrey Hurlings, he can't afford to relax. He's had 2 or 3 mistakes in the last lap. Would have cost him a little bit of energy as well. He's in danger from going from 3rd to 4th here on the final lap from Bobashev. And there's Jasikonis as well. In terms of the podium, the overall at the end of the day, Mike, you know, 1st, 2nd or 3rd is where you need to be depending on what happens in race 2, isn't it? He can't afford to drop to 4th here, not really, ideally. Goldenhoff looking good. He's looking to go past DeSalle 4.7. So he'll be the second Red Bull KTM ride, of course, from the Decali side of the garage. Tony Cairoli and Glenn Koldenoff. And you've got the 84 of Jeffrey Hurlings in the MX2 side. Run and operated there by Dirk Grubels. Van Horbik just leaving himself a little bit too much to do on the final lap. It's not over until that they exit that final turn, though, is it? Still time to make a mistake here, either one of these guys, but Van Horbik pushing hard as well. Is he going to go high here? No, he goes to the inside. Well, this has been an immaculate ride, a great performance from the number 21 of Gauthier Paulin, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider. Takes a look over his shoulder. He's on the home straight. Ken de Dijker about to get lapped here, but Gauthier Paulin heads down towards the finish line. He's going to take the Monster Energy finish line. Paulin wins the first race on his Husqvarna, and he wins the first race here at Valkenswaard. Jeremy Van Horbik second, Jeffrey Hurlings third. No wonder how much effort he has had to use to get there, Jeffrey Hurlings. Well, Bobryshev came home fourth. Arminas Jasikonis came home in fifth place. But in terms of the championship, then obviously 25 major points for Gauthier Paulin and the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna squad. His teammate Max Nagel will wait for him to come through in 10th. Big story here, though. Tony Cairoli not able to capitalise as he started to charge up through the field. He's going to edge out Max Nagel and come home in 9th. But how many? He's not happy either. Shaking his head there, Tony Cairoli. That has a massive impact on the championship at the moment. So 95, so what is that, 21 points to give the difference? Paulin, we'll speak to him in a moment, but Paulin, Van Horbik, Hurlings, Bobryshev and Jasikonis is your winner.
Paulin, congratulations. Pretty much a perfect race from you. You took the whole shot and led every single lap to get your first race win of the season.
Yeah, it's great, you know, all shot and then in the full moto. I feel good on that Rockstar Energy used on a factory racing bike, and it's good for my crew, it's good for myself. I didn't believe, you know, when I was at the first lap on the lead, and then I went till the end. I start to be back.
Good luck for the second race. Thanks, Gauthier.
Yeah.
Gauthier Paulin wins race 1 here at Valkenswaard, the MXGP of Europe, in well, by 9/10 of a second over Jeremy Van Horbik, but he was the coolest man on track. He'd never allowed himself to get flustered, even with the pursuit and the hard charge of Van Horbik. Later on in the race, Jeffrey Hurlings, and earlier on in the race with Tim Geiser. He pats his steed as he crosses the line. That's a big win for Paulin and Rockstar Energy. Official confirmation coming up then for MXGP Race 1, and a great win for Gauthier Paulin. Jeremy Van Horbik coming home in second. Third for Jeffrey Hurlings, Genny Bobryshev fourth, Jasikonis fifth, Geiser, Desal, Koldenoff, Cairoli and Nagel rounding out the top 10. Roman Fevre 11th, Sean Simpson, a lonely ride for him in 12th, Tano Leok 13, Tonus 14, Jentel Martins, Jeffrey de Wolf, Harry Kulas, Gert Kresenov, Valentin Guillot and Rui Gonçalves. Tim Geiser on 2:16, 21 clear of Tony Cairoli, so he's gained 3 points on him in the championship chase. Paulin, though, moves, he stays in third, he moves up to third actually. Gauthier Paulin. Van Horbik up to fourth, Desal drops 2, Bobryshev drops 2, so fifth and sixth for Desal and Bobby. Fevre, no change there, and Tonus stays in 8th. 9th for Nagel, Hurlings now up to 10th. Mike Kress, that was a great MXGP first race.
I was hoping for Hurlings to get a win, but this is good for his confidence, and I think second race will be in his favor.
Well, we'll get to relive some of the highlights from MXGP Race 1 in just a couple of moments. But yeah, what a great race it was. There was a lot going on in it as well. The fans certainly being treated. They're getting their money's worth this weekend, no doubt about it. Are we expecting rain a little later on today? Yes or no? That might be a game changer.
They don't say it, but it looks like it.
Looks like there's a few dark clouds over there on the horizon, but it depends which way the wind's blowing. But wow, what a great race. What a great advert as well for MXGP and the FIA Motocross World Championship here in Valkenswaard. Round 6 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. Here's how it went down. MXGP Race 1. The gate dropped, and it was a clear foxhole shot for Gauthier Paulin. The second of the year for the Frenchman. Geiser was right there. Fevre was well placed as well. So too Bob Reshef and Van Horebeke. Kai Rowley was in about 22nd place, made worse by the fact that he ran into the back of Tonus and had more work to do. That's what happened there. Paul Anno led the way from Geiser, Bob Reshef. Van Horebeke was the first to start advancing forward as Kai Rowley was let by his buddy Ken de Dijker as he chased championship points. Fevre made a mistake from 5th. That allowed Hurlings to go through. And then Geiser from 2nd made a mistake at the bottom of the hill, rejoined the race, but could only manage to come home in 6th place as Jeffrey Hurlings started to believe in himself. Had the fans on their feet. Geiser got caught and passed by Jasikonis in what was a great ride for the Lithuanian on the Suzuki World MXGP machine. He came home in 5th, but Van Horebeke and Bob Reshef, they had their little moment. That put the Belgian into 2nd. And then Hurlings charged his way past the 777 of Bob Reshef to move up into 3rd to set up what looked to be a grandstand finish. He made one mistake there and another one at the end of the straight here after passing Van Horebeke. He ran out of real estate. But it was a win in the end for Paul Ann. Van Horebeke 2nd, Hurlings, well, he's in a good place. He came home in 3rd. Bob Reshef, Jasikonis rounded out the top 5 in MXGP Race 1. Well, thanks to Mike Kress. All the best for the 300 European Championship.
Thank you, guys.
Gauthier Paulin picks up a black plate. The second, the first one, of course, came in Mexico, Leon, so he'll be pleased with that. But it's Paulin on 2, Geiser on 2, Kai Rowley on 2. Track being prepped, ready for MX2 Race 2. Mike Kress, of course, doing the European 300 Championship a little later on. We'll talk over the best moments this time, but first round for you guys, when is it?
Teutschenthal, Germany.
Teutschenthal, Germany, riding with a new team, GL12, racing with Bob Buchanan as the team boss there. How's the bike looking at the moment?
It's perfect. I rode the KTM last year, so I really knew what I wanted. And we didn't have to make big changes. We just made small changes because I went to white power suspension. But I knew what I wanted, so it was just little things, getting to know the new mechanic and getting to know Bob, and everything is going good. And especially after this race, we know what we need to do, and I learned a lot. So I'm really looking forward. I hope for a good year, same like last year, winning around every race. So it was good for me, and I'm just looking forward for a good year.
All right, well, obviously, we're looking at some of the best parts here from MXGP Race 1. Track's going to be a lot rougher for Race 2. Who is your money on?
I'm going to say Hurlings again.
You're still going to say Hurlings. Can he win the overall?
Yes, I think he will do it. Yes.
Okay, Mike Kress, thanks for joining us here in MXGP Race 1. We're out of time here for now, but join us in about an hour. When we return, it'll be MX2 Race 2.